Welcome back, everyone. Next, we have a topic that is close to my heart because that's the area that I focus in from a consulting point of view. Our next speaker is Alessandro Vignazia, founder and director of Lightblue Cognitive Solutions, and he will be speaking to us about intelligent automation, making machines more human with natural language processing. I'm going to go get some popcorn and sit back because I would love to hear more, Alessandro. Thank you so much. We look forward to listening to you.
Thank you, Johan, and hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here and listen and learn from the various speakers, and it's a great opportunity for us to participate in this event. So I think I've got 20 minutes, and I want to talk about, we're going to be talking about intelligent automation, and more specifically, how recent advances in natural language processing are creating a wealth or plethora of opportunities for intelligent automation, or what they also refer to as intelligent business process automation. Okay. As Johan mentioned, my name is Alessandro Vignazia. I'm the founder and director of Lightblue Cognitive Solutions. We're an AI consulting and software development house, and we specialize in intelligent augmentation, automation, and advanced analytic solutions. We typically do AI solution implementation, where we implement our own solutions, or we're looking at bespoke solution delivery, where we focus on composite application development and systems integration. We like to leverage best-in-class AI technology partner platforms and solution components, the likes of IBM and IBM Watson, that's in the bottom left corner there, as well as the Googles, the Microsofts, and beyond, as well as homegrown and open source, all in all to try and deliver rapid business value. Just some background about me. I was a consultant with IBM for 22 years, and one of my last roles was heading up AI for IBM Consulting across Middle East and Africa, and hence a lot of experience in the IBM Watson space, and we've successfully leveraged IBM Watson in delivering value to our clients. So just moving on today's discussion, one of the tests they say is trying to explain to your mum what you're selling or doing today. So I thought I'd come up with a diagram, forgive me, but really what we're going to be talking about is the confluence or the convergence of automation and a subset thereof being robotic process automation with natural language, sorry, I'm struggling with slides here, with natural language processing. So really the focus is how does one improve and do intelligent automation by leveraging natural language processing? I'm not going to go into each of these because I think this audience is pretty much on a par with what they involve. If one looks at intelligent automation, the continuum thereof, I like to think of it as almost systems of action. In the old days, they invented the construct of a system of record or a system of engagement. Now we're being forced to almost have a system of action, and simplistically an intelligent system would just do, and that's traditionally where robotic process automation started, really rule-based. But as these systems mature and they effectively develop their own nervous system, they begin to think and learn. So the thinking is, as these systems become more fully automated, we need to involve other aspects. So natural language processing as well as autonomic computing and deep learning begin to play. Now, today's conversation is really all around human language. And for those of you familiar with Noam Chomsky, he's a rather clever guy and lots of very good opinions. And what I found quite interesting and why I wanted to talk about it is actually the natural language or human language has been seen as a hallmark of human intelligence, vis-a-vis the Turing test that came about in the 1950s. And basically, if you can engage with an entity and you can't tell if that entity is human or machine, effectively they say you've achieved human-like intelligence. And it's been described as when machines are able to comprehend, process, output, etc., human language, they effectively will have achieved artificial general intelligence, so the rise of the machines, where they function as well as, if not better than humans. Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, he even said the ability for everyone to engage with machines using human language is the ultimate democratizer, where irrespective of if you're 8 or you're 80 years old, you'll be able to instruct and interact with the machine. And think about the power of human language. The largest repository of human knowledge is already in human language, and to be able to get access to that. Sorry, was there a connection issue?
Yeah, it seems like it kicked off your slides. Let's see if you could reshare and if that works.
Sorry about that.
I always say one day when we work in technology, we won't be having these problems.
Yeah, how long did I go out? How much did I lose?
I think not much.
Okay.
There we go. It's back. Now I'm on Chomsky.
Okay. I assume I'm back. For those of you who can see the slide, as Johan, any luck?
Yeah, I see your slide, the Noam Chomsky slide.
Okay, thank you. So as Johan pointed out, even us in technology typically struggle the most with technologies. Apologies for that. And just to consider the value of being able to interpret human language, considering that the largest repository of human knowledge is encoded in human language. Now, at the same time, understand that the number one choice from a consumer point of view, who you want your business to engage with, is choosing messaging or a conversational user interface. We saw in the noughties or the 00 time frame, it was all about a website. Every business needed a website. In the 10s, every business needed a mobile app to stay relevant. What we're seeing in the 2020s is that every business needs a conversational interface to engage with consumers on their terms. And a good catchphrase I've seen is that AI is the new UI. So conversation, once again, human language is at the forefront for your manner of engagement with your consumers. Coupled to that, your consumers who are engaging with you in natural language are also expecting you to revert in real time. Now, this creates a problem in terms of lots of organizations' internal contact centers, because the barriers to communications have been brought down. It's far easier for your customer to ping you via WhatsApp than it is to pick up the phone. So we've had customers who've launched on WhatsApp as a chat medium, only to be inundated and their contact centers basically to not be able to handle the pace. So there's lots of techniques around triage, using chatbots, self-help with intelligent search before one escalates to human agents. Hence, your systems of action that we referred to earlier become all the more important in terms of engaging these customers. Now, forgive me for reusing this slide. You've seen it before, the good old iceberg, but I think it gets reused a lot because it's apt. The messaging here is clear. The world is swimming in data. I saw my other speakers referring to this, and this is exponential. The majority of it, though, is unstructured. So from an organizational point of view, you will all be familiar with the term big data, which was coined back in the 2005. And most of you would be familiar with the construct of dark matter and dark energy, which I'm told make up 95% of our universe, which effectively means that we currently only understand 5% of our universe. Now, similarly, it's estimated that dark data is 80% of an organization's data, and it turns out that dark data is far larger than traditional big data. So you're sitting with 80% of your organizational information that is effectively dark, and historically your organizations haven't been able to leverage them for business insight to action processes. Now, how does this happen? Well, all of that 80% is typically locked up in silos. What we've noticed, and the leading thinking is humankind's been exceedingly good at creating and storing data. And one of the stats is in the last 2 years, we've created over 95% of our knowledge, predominantly unstructured. And we've been great at sticking this information into websites, file folders, wikis, portals, content management systems, knowledge management systems, etc., etc. But what we haven't been good at is effectively allowing employees, customers, knowledge workers, etc., to access this information. And I don't think I'm alone in terms of how much time do you think you waste on a personal level searching for that relevant bit of information. If I share some personal experience, I actually use an independent software vendor's tools outside of the standard operating system tooling, just to search my own meager repository of data so that I can be up and about and find relevant data, albeit in emails or proposals, etc. Now imagine this on the organizational level. There's a statistic that used to say people spend approximately 2.5 hours a day searching for information. Although that's been refuted, it's significant. Now, what was also interesting is that historically, IT's strength and the business intelligence space has traditionally all been around very structured data. But all this new unstructured information is resulting in many organizations simply not having the tools, the skills, or even, frankly, the appetite to address this whole new world. Okay? Because it's scary. It appears unwieldy to have to be able to put around your arms around 80% of the data that was, frankly, easier to ignore. But thankfully, all is not lost. Okay? It's now become possible to extract valuable insights from your unstructured data. And organizations that are doing so are ahead of the pack. Simple examples ranging from intelligent document understanding to being able to track sentiment in social media. There's a plethora of examples of this becoming visible in the market. Now, specifically, if we look at that, why is that possible? It's being made possible, and intelligent automation is being taken to the next step because of natural language processing. NLP, as it's referred to, can be broken down into 3 areas. NLU, NLU, natural language understanding, where you're extracting entities or attributes and picking up segments of words. NLC, or classification, that's really leveraged by chatbots and assistants, where you understanding the intent of a question and handling the dialogue. And then a real exciting one, NLG, which is the actual generation of language. And there's been a massive strides with all of these areas. I don't know if you've been exposed to IBM's Project Debater, where they're leading the cause in terms of a machine's ability to debate the best debate on the planet, and the machine narrowly lost. Yeah. Now, it's not just NLU, and it's not just the market is also taking notice of the growth in NLP. And if you look at the growth of NLP within the context of AI over the next 5 to 6 years, you can see the NLP market share is significant. Just going to check how I'm doing for time. A few more minutes. Excuse me. So what are the applications for AI and NLP and intelligent automation? you frankly are spoiled for choice. As has been mentioned, there's various industries that are benefiting, and I chuckled when I heard any industry where there's people or documents or language, and effectively that's everyone. But as has been mentioned, financial services, retail, e-commerce, the legal profession, there's just a spoiling of opportunities. Here I've listed a couple of generic use cases that allow for easy entrance into the market. And what we typically do with our customers is we sit down with them and identify what use cases are applicable to their respective industries. I mean, virtual assistants, whether it's the Siri voice-based, or if you've got a Google Home and that's how you listen to Spotify, to information retrieval being a strong suit, going forward to decision management, where it's not just augmenting your employee, but assisting them by directing a process. We've seen great opportunity in the automation of documentation. We started delivering products around email automation, and as soon as you start doing that, and there's massive cost benefits for your larger organizations where all the interest has been around chatbots in natural language, but there's still traditional channels like email automation that take a lot of cost to process with humans. And if you deal with email, you actually have to deal with email attachments. So there's a smorgasbord of document types, be they invoices, contracts, schedules, you name it. But now with the latest NLP and intelligent automation, you can ingest at source, you can determine the context, extract the relevant data, convert it into structured document, and using robotics process automation, perform the transaction on the back end. We've seen shifts in hiring and recruitment where NLP is being used to identify potential candidates' CVs. Machine translation, there's neural networks in place with Google that we've used as part of email automation solutions that are as good as, if not near to, human translation levels. And then in the social media analysis space, we've seen a lot of customers using tools to automatically detect commentary around their products, their brand in the industry. And the automation aspect would allow an organization not only to hear what's going on in the market, but to automate campaigns to automatically engage those customers or prospects. Further, the NLP space plays largely into the surveying and analysis of surveying. So you no longer need to do a form-based survey when you're engaging with the consumer. In fact, you have a 50% better completion rate if you're using a conversational survey interface versus your traditional form-based. And I think I'm going to end there and say thank you to all for listening from an unfortunately overcast Cape Town today.
I'm in Joburg, so whatever the weather's like there, Alessandro, I'd still be jealous. But thank you for a fascinating presentation. I mean, the potential, if we think of back office automation, especially the way we interact with our customers, as you've alluded to, it's amazing. I just last week had to contact my medical aid provider because I forgot how to submit an electronic claim, and the little chatbot popped up. I nearly threw my laptop through the window. I'd rather just speak to a human being because it was a stupid intelligent system. So I think we can do so much more. But that was really great, Alessandro. Thank you so very much. And with that, we're going to take another break. We've got 3 more sessions left, and I hope you're all learning as much as I am. And we'll see you in 1 minute. Thank you.
Thanks, Johan. Cheers.